What if rainbows came out at night too and glowed like neon lights? People ask what you do for a living so they can calculate how much respect they have for you. Being able to FaceTime 911 operators would significantly solve a lot of cases. Who heard snoring and thought, yup, that sounds like the letter Z? 4 seems to be our limit for the number of legs an animal can have before we start to hate it. What if when you wake up instantly before you die in dreams because your brain doesn't know what happens next? Hash browns are just flattened tater tots. Seeing Gordon Ramsay in a restaurant you're eating at is either a very good sign or a very bad sign. Humans have the technology to live in third person by wearing a virtual reality headset linked to a camera drone set to follow a few feet behind. We currently know more history than anyone in history ever knew. Instead of saying no pun intended, people should say it was pun intentional. Police should wear red and blue light-up shoes when they pursue people on foot. One day the internet will be older than every living human. Do fish get thirsty? What if mirrors are portals to another dimension and you can go through them, but your reflection blocks you? Yogurt is just fruity milk pudding. You see more starlight during the day than at night. To answer any question that starts with "do you know" correctly, you have to know that you know or that you don't know, even if you don't know. While driving, why is it illegal to use our phones to call someone, but we can look down at our phone while using the GPS? As an adult, any free time you have is just you procrastinating something. Arms are really inconvenient when trying to find a comfy sleeping position. No matter who you are to somebody, you're their cool friend. Somewhere in the world, there is someone with your dream job that hates going to work every day. When we think of apples, they're red, but when we think of apple-flavored things, we think green. If scorpions could fly like cockroaches, I would find a way to leave the planet. Does a piece of paper have 2 sides or 6 sides? SpongeBob's shoes squeak because they're always wet. Without realizing it, one day we all rented our last video game from Blockbuster. You know a show is actually funny when it doesn't have a laugh track to convince you it is. There are people who Google on Google to get to Google. When we say someone is hot, we think of their appearance, but when we say someone is cold, we think of their personality. In the wizard world, rappers would be the hardest to battle because imagine how fast they could cast multiple spells. One day, you went into Toys R Us without knowing it would be your last visit there. Literally none of us planned on being alive and don't remember getting here. After high school, you discover you were friends with a lot of people only because you saw them 5 times a week. It seems like some memes are getting complex enough where you need to know like 5 years of meme history to understand them. Eyelashes are there to protect your eyes, but 9 times out of 10, it's an eyelash that gets stuck in my eye. Sign language, not being a universal language, was a huge missed opportunity. Water is pretty crazy. It can boil you to death, freeze you to death, drown you to death, but you still need it to survive. Have you ever wondered how your friends describe you to others? You don't actually wash your hands wash themselves. Your phone doesn't seem heavy at all until you drop it on your face while laying down. Why is it called a grapefruit when there's already a fruit called a grape? If everyone got what they wanted, would the world be in harmony or in chaos? Who opens and closes the door for bus drivers? Sprite is just spicy flavored water. Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle? All 3 A's in Australia are pronounced differently. I just recently found out the internet is mostly powered by huge cables in the ocean, not satellites. There are more stars in the sky than grains of sand on Earth. What even is this thing? The ocean is technically soup because it has meat and vegetables in a salty broth. Is the ocean really blue, or is it just a reflection of the sky? Lobsters are basically mermaids to scorpions. Everyone who lives on an island also lives on a sea mountain. Seagulls flying over the beach at night look like shooting stars. Maybe the ocean is salty because land doesn't wave back. There is a set of actions that, if performed in the correct order, would make you a millionaire one day. No one thinks muscle memory is real until they rearrange the apps on their phone. Trees live underground and use the above ground part as a snorkel. Using solar panels to power an air conditioning unit is like using the sun's power against itself. Waffles are just pancakes with abs. Fishing is the underwater equivalent to an alien abduction. There are only 2 days in your lifetime that aren't 24 hours long. A laser tag arena would be a pretty intense place for dogs and cats. It's crazy that as a species, we can transplant organs, build robots, and travel in space, but we can't all just get along. When you sit on a warm toilet seat, it's both comfortable and disturbing at the same time. Actors get paid more to pretend to go into space than astronauts get paid to actually go. Either we are alone in the universe or not. Both are kind of scary. If you think about it, a kangaroo is just a T-Rex deer.